Today, Intel talks ARC GPUs with a shocking admission. A fourth GPU maker is here with a gaming GPU. Ryzen 7000 CPUs are even better again, and this is Nvidia's RTX 4080. Welcome everyone to Gamer Melt. First up for today, Intel looks ready to fight with their long-awaited ARC GPUs, though they admit something shocking. In a new post from PC Gamer, the outlet got a chance to sit down with Intel's Tom Peterson and Ryan Shrout, and they learned some good stuff. For starters, Tom Peterson claims that when a title is optimized for Intel, the A750 will get performance that's, quote, significantly above a 3060, meaning, quote, 17%, 14%, 10%. It's going to vary, of course, based on the title. That's apparently similar for DX12 and Vulkan, though Vulkan seems to be more about trading blows. Not only that, but they discuss pricing a bit as well, and apparently that was a big focus for Intel. In fact, Tom Peterson stated, quote, "You're gonna get a card that's faster than 3060 at prices that are lower. If you think you're playing DX12 and DX11 and you're splitting it, you're still gonna get amazing value, because we're gonna price it for the performance that we're delivering today." One thing that's really surprising is that Intel actually admitted that they were hoping the performance would be a little higher, and that may explain why we saw those charts going around claiming we may see something closer to 3070 level of performance. Unfortunately, that just doesn't look to be the case. Not only that, but Intel is apparently done with the actual design of the cards, as Intel confirmed most of their ASIC is now working on Battle Mage. Hopefully Intel can bring the heat with their next gen. Next up for today, a fourth GPU maker is coming, and believe it or not, they used to design GPUs. But before I get to that, learn the ins and outs of PCs like never before with today's sponsor, Brilliant, the platform that was built to teach the STEM field, and their courses are actually made by some of the brightest minds from MIT, Microsoft, Google, and more, so you actually know you're being taught the right stuff. And when you visit brilliant.org/gamermeld, you can try it out for free. But what makes them so special? Well, for one, Brilliant teaches you the right way, which is by having you learn by doing, and they do this with fun, interactive puzzles. Another great part is that you can learn at your own pace and what you want to learn, whether it's just the basics or something more intense like quantum computing. Brilliant has it all. It's really simple, and you can try it out right now at brilliant.org/gamermeld. Plus, the first 200 of my viewers who click the link will get 20% off the annual premium. So don't wait any longer and visit brilliant.org/gamermeld today. So back to this GPU maker. I'm talking about the UK-based Imagination Technologies, the company behind Power VR. For those who don't know, that was the graphics architecture behind the Apocalypse 3D series, and it even powered the Dreamcast console back in '98. Basically, the company has been around for quite a while, and in their new 30-year celebration of Power VR, they're getting back in the graphics game. In fact, they're behind the Fantasy 1 GPU from InnoSilicon that I went over a little while back. The Type A version of that GPU comes with 16 GB of GDDR6X across a 128-bit bus and offers up to 5 teraflops of computational performance. Not only that, but their Type B card is a dual chip with up to twice the performance. According to Tom's Hardware, the Fantasy 1 Type A GPU targets around 3060 level of performance. And honestly, that's quite impressive to say the least. You can see the GPU right here, and it certainly looks more like a gaming GPU. Of course, the Fantasy 1 was supposed to launch a while back, and while it's set to be a China-only card, we still haven't seen any benchmarks just yet. But this new post gives me hope, and it's always nice to see a new competitor to shake up the market. Time will tell if they can compete with AMD, Nvidia, and now Intel. Next up, it looks like AMD's upcoming Ryzen 7000 CPUs are getting better and better. In a series of new benchmarks from multiple users, we can not only see the CPU's potential, but we can see the difference a better cooler makes. For starters, on an air-cooled system in Cinebench R23, the Ryzen 9 7950X scored 2205 points on single-core and 29,649 on multi-core. That's certainly not bad, but get this. A new score in the ChipHell forum using an AIO bumped that score all the way up to 36,256. That's a pretty massive jump over the 5950X, and can even challenge the 13,900K. Unfortunately, we don't have a single core score quad-core here, but the multi-core is impressive. Finally, the 7950X did even better in the third score by one Raichu. Here, it got a whopping 37,452. That's a whopping 42 to 43% performance boost over the 5950X, as well as the 12,900K. Not only that, but apparently one of the tests was running an old BIOS, so it could get even better. With that said, there are some caveats. For one, the final score used a 360mm AIO, yet while it reached a whopping 5.1 GHz across all cores, it got up to 96 degrees Celsius, so it was definitely getting a bit crispy. Plus, the 13,900K has been able to get better scores, but I believe that was running at the rumored 350 watt mode, so it's really not much of a comparison. At the end of the day, Ryzen 7000 looks to be a great performer. And lastly for today, Nvidia's next-gen flagship GPU, the RTX 4080, has finally been revealed in all its next-gen glory. This story comes from a new post by Kitty Yuko on Twitter, and later reported by multiple outlets. Now, the first thing you may notice is that the font in the 4080 is a bit odd. According to video cards, Nvidia recently added a new font type for its official website. It's called Nvidia Sans NALA, and when we compare it to the newly leaked GPU, it looks exactly the same. Basically, this very likely is the real deal, and Kitty Yuko seems quite confident as well. Either way, when we look at it, we can see that it looks fairly similar to the RTX 30 series Founders Edition, but there are a few differences. For one, the fan seems to be quite a bit bigger, plus there's 7 huge blades instead of the 9 blades we have now. The shroud also looks to be bigger, and according to Kitty Yuko, it's a triple slot GPU. Basically, Nvidia's next gen looks to be a fairly minor change visually, but it looks to have some big changes going on internally. Either way, Nvidia's RTX 4000 series doesn't seem to be too far off. We'll just have to see how it compares to AMD's RX 7000. So while that does it for today, are you ready for Nvidia's RTX 4000 series, or are you more pumped for a new GPU competitor? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you liked the video, please subscribe. And as always, have a great day.